would I change this? You know, I don't know, but I guess we will change this. I want to fix my annotation. Oh, come on. What is this doing to me? Copy. I'll just do it this way. Paste and go. So, first I'm going to talk about the fertilizer. The game was using like the soil waste or the actual soil, and what I've done is I create what's called fly ash. Fly ash is a material that is a result of cleaning out carbon dioxide and carbons and in the refining processes in the factories, refineries, that sort of thing. And I use that, plus I use what's called soil waste. Now, soil waste is more or less, it's got some of the heavier metals taken out of it. It's different in some cases. It's not the same, made of the same constituent, but let me just, all the time, let me just go into my mod. Let's see, we got chemistry. So I use, the material that I use is called aggregate soil. And I'm just looking at my well, I can't seem to find, this is the wrong one. Alright, so it says soil waste and fly ash. So again, the fly ash, aluminum oxide and iron oxide cleans out the furnace refineries, and it takes out carbon dioxide, it takes out, there's carbon that comes out, and then there's fly ash that comes out. So it's kind of a bunch of stuff. It's that carbon-y type stuff. Carbon is a source of life. And I mix that with soil waste. So the soil waste from Mars comes from splitting the rocks in the Mars soil. Well, actually, none of the rock, there's trace rock leftover waste, but all of that gets used. None of the stuff from the rock gets used. There's a soil waste that you get from combining Mars soil and water. Which technically you can only do the first time when you play the game. Doesn't really explain why that Anyway, it does say splits Martian soil into sodium oxide for drills. Actually, that should be... The sodium oxide is converted to sodium hydroxide. For splits Martian soil into sodium oxide, then which converts to NaOH for drills. Now, people need to know some of their chemicals. So I'm looking at the soil waste. So the first one, you know, it's really only used once. It doesn't really count. And I think the only other place that I get soil waste, well, I get it from, like, when we're collecting manganese boron, we're taking out iron oxide, potassium oxide, then we're taking out zinc and silicon dioxide. After those constituents are pulled out, there's soil waste that's left. Iron, well, that's kind of a plant material. I mean, most of that stuff's taken out. There's always some trace elements left. That's one example. That's in the small factory. The large one, I use a soil trace elements, soil trace leftovers. One of them, zinc, chlorine, potassium oxide, magnesium oxide, calcium sulfate, and scheelite, chromium oxide, and boron are taken out. And that leaves a bunch of soil waste. That's in the big factory. The sulfates are taken out, chromium oxide's taken out. There's some more soil waste there. Sulfates, sulfur trioxide's taken out around the pyrite area grids. And that's it. So there is opportunity to collect soil waste. That is combined with fly ash to make aggregate soil. The aggregate soil is then used in the small refinery iron alloy process. And 10 units for every unit of aggregate soil is used, and iron low grade is processed, so it's about an even. And really not that much iron gets processed in a day. I mean, it's like, I could theoretically process 100 units a day. So I have to think about eventually getting the big factory, which is what I'm doing. Let me just look at what I'm collecting again. I suppose you could theoretically mix just the regular soil, but I don't think that's practical, because I think there's stuff in there that's going to inhibit plant growth. So it's really back to taking stuff out. And in each one of those processes, let me see. Where's soil? That gets a soil waste. There's soil trace. There's a soil trace 2 that pulls out zinc and silicon dioxide, and that gives soil waste. But you have to take out iron oxide and potassium oxide first. Potassium, I think it's used in I'm looking at my grow beds. And the batteries, I don't... Potassium hydroxide is actually used in the batteries. Potassium hydroxide. That's KOH. I think that's pulled right out of the soil. Oh, synthesized potassium hydroxide. You have to have potassium and dewater. So we must be splitting. So that's a component of batteries. Where the heck did it go? Potassium hydroxide is a component of battery acid. It's one of the components. So maybe let me just see where potassium oxide is split here. Input potassium oxide, it's just split normally, I guess. I don't know if I looked up that process, but I'm assuming that's what it is. So you get potassium and oxygen. So that's a lucrative process, because that gets me oxygen for breathing, and I have to use dewater, but it gets me potassium hydroxide for battery acid. But if I look at the battery acid, one battery acid and one battery part makes one battery. So it doesn't really use a lot of potassium hydroxide. Oh, 2 battery acids up there and 1 potassium hydroxide. I don't know. I mean, like, you could make 10 batteries with just 10 of those potassium hydroxide. I'll have a lot of that stuff left over. Wait just a second. No, I know I'm this intermission, but I'm talking about this stuff here. I just gotta look at my stream. Make sure I'm monitoring the stream here, which I'm not. So 20 units of soil trace gets me 4 iron oxide, which is useful, and some potassium oxide. That's the odd numbers. And I can combine soil traces. So then I'll put zinc and silicon dioxide. All of that stuff's useful. And it gets me 5 soil waste out of every... Yeah. Let me just look. So my other problem is this what's called Mars soil trace. And I don't know if that process even works. And I've got to test it. Other soil waste comes from the large refineries. like I said, that's in the pyrite area. Looks, as a matter of fact, that's the only place I get that. It's in the pyrite area, except for those soil traces. Yep. The other battery parts I can get right out of the soil. That's not specific. Potassium oxide. That's what it is. It comes from the battery, taking the stuff out for the battery parts. Well, now wait, potassium, let me just look at my grow beds, because that's also used. Let's see, we got Epsom salts, chlorine. Yeah, 1 unit of potassium and 1 unit of chlorine treat 20 units of dewater more efficiently. It treats all the water versus only half of the water with just chlorine. So I get a better return of drinking water. Oh, so the other thing is that fertilizer, hydroponics, that should use water. Let me just see if I can find it. Hydro station. It probably won't tell me. I have to look at the controller for the hydro station. And I can do that. Hey, what are you doing now? Yeah, what are you doing now? Huh? What are you doing in that paper? Yeah, what? What are you doing there? Oh. My bird. He's being funny. So I look up scripts. Entities, controllers. Take me to Mars. Building blocks. Furniture, hydro station. Edit with Notepad Plus. An update package is available. Do you want to? No, I don't. So I'm looking at the process used to. You're supposed to have fertilizer and water, and I just want to make sure that I see water. It should be in there. Resource barrel in, resource barrel out. Water, yep. So that uses clean water. So potassium's got a use there. I mean, it's only 1 for every 20 units of water, but still. So potassium oxide's not directly used, it's split. And we get oxygen. So it's got some good use. And recombines. Should have recombined fly ash in it now. Recombined salt trace. Oh, you know, I should put salt trace 1 in there too. I'm going to do that. this is one of the things that I know this part works. It's called Soil Trace Recombine. But the problem I think I've got is with Mars Soil Trace. I'm wondering if that name is too... Oh, you know what? It might not be too long because I've got one here that's called Mars Core Sample. Another one is just Mars Soil. And Mars Core Sample's got 2 capitals. Well then, if they can go out that long... Oh, that's not what the problem was. It was the Mars Soil Trace one. It should work. It should work, you know. So now it's just the process. All I have to do is go to the combine process. Back up here. Process. Mars. What do I do with that? Manganese oxide. Manganese oxide. Where the heck is... See, I haven't tested any of these large processes, large refinery processes. Is it Mars Soil TR1? No. Oh, it must be it. I'll get there. Just bear with me. I'm trying to figure something out. I don't know. Recombine my Soil TR1. Why did I think I had a problem with this? Mars Core Sample. Let's go into the game. Fertilizer, aggregate soil, aggregate soil, and Europa, aggregate soil. there. Let's pop up some music here. Let's go to the editor. Gale Creator, I guess. Actually, I don't have to do that. I can just go ahead and let's pop down an astronaut here. So here's my list. See, there's Mars soil. Potassium hydroxide, that's for the battery. Mars soil trace 1. Aggregate soil. That's the one I questioned. Those two are in there and they're long. I think it's gonna work. I don't think there's a problem with this. So if I use I could just recombine it into an empty Mars soil TR1. Oh, I'm looking Mars soil TR1. Mars soil TR1. I thought there was something called Mars soil trace, but it's just longer than the other. Wait a minute. Mars soil TR1. Mars soil TR1. splits Mars soil. We could do that process. This 3, this 5, that's a large machine. That's what I want to do. Split Mars soil. Because that's already been taken out, the trace. I want to see that process working. And if it works, I don't have to worry about it. So all we gotta do here is pop up some empty barrels. So we've got mass soil, MA soil TR1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I guess. We need, let's just put a cable spool there. I'd rather use that than a cable, because they always get stuck, you know? It's just a pain. Mars refinery, materials refinery large. And we don't really even have to save this. Well, I could save it, I guess. I could call it refinery test. Refinery test. It would help to be in the game. Now, another thing you might notice that there's no head bob at all whatsoever. That's because there's hardly anything in the game. That's the whole reason. I mean, if there's a lot of stuff in the game, you're gonna get that. It's just a, you know. And eventually, all that stuff that I got in the game right now, those all that food packets and all that stuff, they'll all disappear eventually. Red goes to your power. I can ever get over there. Now this first one should be our input. If this works, well, I never really had a problem with it, but I don't know, for some reason I was worried about the length of the name somewhere. I don't know where it was now, because I can't find it. And the Europa stuff is even longer, the names are even longer. Maybe I should try one of those processes. I mean, The game's not crashing when I load it, you know? When the mod, I mean, when I load it into the game. Usually, if a name is too long or something, the stuff just disappears. It doesn't show up at all. And when we look to the processes here, we can see the names right there, so... In fact, if I had a 3D printer in here, we could probably do one. Alright, so... There's our Mars Soil Trace 1. Ah, shit, that's not the one I wanted. I wanted 2. Damn it. I did all that work for nothing. See, I don't have something. God, I screwed up. See, them ones are in there, and Europa Ice Concentrate's in there. That's a really long name. I was worried about the length of the name in here. Maybe we should do that one. There's Europa Ice and Europa Ground Concentrate. Well, there's the thing right there. Mars Soil Trace 1. There's the soil waste. I get a lot right there. Where's the potassium oxide? That was... Where's the soil waste? See, I'm looking for soil waste without using sodium hydroxide. BT soil trace. BT soil trace 2. Alright, just a minute. Let me look. BT soil trace 1, BT soil trace 2. That says soil trace 1 and soil trace 2. It's just a naming convention. BT soil trace 1 and 2. Soil trace 1 and 2. Okay, BT means battery. Mars soil trace 1. Soil trace 1. There's no Mars soil trace 2. There's only soil trace 2. Okay. So if I combine, because soil waste comes out of either of those. So I can combine any Mars soil trace 1, use it, but if I Yeah, it doesn't matter. I ask myself this question, what if I'm getting stuff out more than once? You are, in a sense, because all of that stuff is in there. You're not taking all of it out. It's just that you've got to have at least 20 units of it, of the whole soil trace, in order to extract anything out of it to begin with. I don't have a problem with that. That's got to be working. But the question is, okay, I understand those processes. See, that gets you your BT soil trace too. This is the process I was thinking of. It's a double process. So you've got the battery soil trace 1 as an output. Then you've got choices. There's only one choice for the battery soil trace 1. Then you've got 2 choices for battery soil trace 2. And one of those 2 gives you soil waste. The other one doesn't. Now the Mars soil trace 1 is there. MA soil TR1. See, that's got 2 capitals in it. But the process is listed. And I should be able to extract this. This is just a factory process. It's not a drilling process. Because I've already got the output Mars soil trace 1 right there. So I got choices here. Why? Oh, that's why. I didn't have the input selected. So I actually, and that's a recombine. That one gives me 15 soil waste. That one gives me 10 soil waste. That one gives me 5 soil waste. This one outputs, gives me some boron, sulfur trioxide. Splits Martian soil pyrite area only, it says right there. Martian soil pyrite area only. Pyrite area. So all of that soil waste from there comes from the pyrite area. So that's really not a lot, and that's going to get used up. So I really have to depend on another source. Yeah, but this doesn't come from the pyrite area, this stuff here. I can get this anywhere. Oh, I know why. If I use this process within a pyrite grid, then I can collect this stuff. I can use this process anywhere, but I've got this Mars soil trace left over that I can't use. What do I do with it? Now that's a question. Do I call it Mars Soil TR? And then convert that to waste? I can't do that. I've got a problem. Yeah, I've got a logistical problem with this. Now how the heck do I solve that now? Stop moving. Now let's shut his ass up. What do I do with that Mars soil trace? I can't call it soil waste because I'm using these two processes here. Unless if I double up on the process. I could call it Mars Soil PY1 and double up on the process. So I can collect this stuff in the pyrite area, or I don't collect it in the pyrite area. This is really going to make things confusing. What do I do with the Mars soil trace? Or do I call it a different name? Oh my god. What a mess. Split Martian soil. I've got 3 Mars soil trace ones in the pyrite area only. And I'm getting that from wait, that's yep, it's right there. So I could call it oh god, I can't do this. I don't have enough room. I can't do this because I just don't have the room. If I limited to, that's a zinc and chlorine. I do get chlorine up here. But I don't think. And I do get chlorine out of the rocks. Anywhere. Chlorine out of the rocks. chlorine out of the rocks. Make it zinc. Yeah, but the first part works okay. Saltwaste tubes. Zinc and chlorine. What if, let's see, zinc, chlorine, potassium, and magnesium, manganese, chlorine, potassium. If I limited that one and just collected zinc and I've got chlorine twice in there. Potassium oxide. Potassium oxide. There's one pole in the pyrite area. Wait a minute. Potassium oxide and chlorine. If I change this to PR1, trace elements in pyrite area. If I call that PR1, phosphorus pentoxide. The phosphorus, well, I do get, when I do bear with me. When I do the solid waste, like liquid waste, the commode, I do get potassium and phosphorus out of that. There is phosphorus there, but I didn't want that to be my only source of phosphorus. Is that my only source of phosphorus in the pyrite area? That's the question. I see potassium oxide, limit mining. Why the hell does that say limit mining? Manganese chlorine. Nope, there is no potassium or phosphorus in the rock. I get potassium from the soil. It says limit mining. Potassium there. Magnesium oxide. magnesium. There's the sulfates. That's soil waste. Soil waste. Can I switch out something? See, the magnesium oxide is 8 units out of 20. Where else do I get magnesium oxide? Manganese. Manganese. Magnesium oxide soil right there. 4 units out of 10. So I do have another source for that. So I could switch that. And that way I can get my potassium and my phosphorus pentoxide, my phosphorus, in a normal pull. So let's do that. We're going to grab this. God. Cut. Paste. I'm going to call this PR1. P. PR1. Marcel PR1. Then I'm going to drop this. Cut. Paste. Now I'm going to change these numbers. That's changed. Now I've got to change my other numbers. So I've got a total of 20 units. I've got 2, 3, 4, 5. I have to leave that stuff there. That's 15. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually going to give me... but what do I do? Mars soil. Phosphorus. I'm pretty sure I don't get that anywhere else. So if I'm getting this out, is there anything else I can pull out of this somewhere? Salt trace 1, iron oxide and potassium oxide. Salt trace 2, zinc, blah, blah, blah. I can't do that. I just can't. I could do a soil waste. If I did a soil waste, 15 units. I don't know what else to do. If I call it soil waste, wait, I gotta change this number. Manganese is 1, 2, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this has to be a 9. Oh crap. That's not good. I'm making it a 10. What the heck? 8, 9, 10, 11. So I get an extra unit. Big deal. That'll work. I like it. Only question is, if I do this one run in the large machine, I get some soil waste, and then I've got another run I could do. It gets me 7. That one I'm pulling out calcium oxide, 10 units of it. That's giving me 7 soil waste. Well, I don't know. I guess I really don't have a lot of choice here. And I could actually leave the name TR1. I'd rather call it PR1 because I think it's a little bit more. I guess that's what I'm going to do. And since I'm making these changes, I might as well add this ceramic thing in there, you know? Two, 3, 4, 5. Marsol PR1 part area only. That's giving me soil waste. Why couldn't I use one of these in my sulfur trioxide? Can't. Sulfates I can't. I don't. Scheelite carbon monoxide boron. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna be soil waste out of there. But I could leave it TR1. Or I just go back in that other place and change it. That's what I'm doing. The recombines. Marsol PR1. I hope I did this right. I mean, I have to have some extra sources for soil waste because that's what's making my aggregate soil. North soil PR1. Mars soil. Why is that capitalized? soil trace 1. BT soil trace. I'm going to call this PY soil TR. Oh. PY. Pyrite soil trace. That's the name on the barrel. Okay. That's been changed. Let's see if we can run this. Did I run this process yet? Oh, that's cracking out a lot of soil waste, ain't it? Why did it die? Oh, it ran out of soil. I mean, those constituents, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, really. So what I'm going to do, I hope I saved that. Alright, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to replace the entire mod in there. Because I know I replaced it back. When I saved the mod. I should probably make a backup of this. Let's see, this is going to be A. And this one's going to be B. And I'll put A in there. And I'll put B. goes in there. Okay, there's my new update. I hope this is right. So now I've got a new naming convention in there. I'll test it. And if it works, should be good. So my problem is I'll have that Mars soil trace 1, that's not going to be in there. If Mars soil trace 1 is not in there, those processes won't be in there. So if I go back and look at this, if I go back, Mars soil TR1 is not going to be there anymore in my game. And the only place that I use that Mars soil PR1, actually there's 3 of them. They're all in the pyrite area. Oh god, that's the sulfur trioxide. I won't be able to mine pyrite because it won't show up. That's a game load. I'll have to start the mod all over again to do the pyrite. I can't do any of the pyrite because they won't show up. Unless if I change it back to TR1. And then they'll show up. Shit. Oh, God. Mars soil PR1. There's chromium. calcium, magnesium. I mean, all that stuff I collect anyway. I do collect it elsewhere. The only thing I'm not going to be able to collect, well, is chromium. Calcium sulfate. Chromium oxide. Sodium hydroxide, manganese, potassium, zinc, magnesium sulfate, pyrite grid. Ooh. I get magnesium sulfate and oh god. Oh god. I've got a major issue. I've got the same problem with the soil trace because I'm collecting the other stuff anywhere, and I'm collecting freaking soil trace 2 only in the pyrite grid, in the outer pyrite grids. Fuck. Limit mining. Limit mining. The problem is the player would have to know when he extracts soil trace 2 in the pyrite grids, he's allowed to use that process if he's collecting it in the pyrite grid. If he's not collecting it in the pyrite grid, he's not allowed to use soil trace 2. That means soil trace 2 just sits around doing nothing. And pretty much gets wasted. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, I see. Okay. There's 2 of them. One of them can be used in an area that's not pyrite. The other one can be used in an area that's pyrite. And then I'm going to do, I'm changing it back to TR1. I'm changing it back. To hell with it, I guess. I don't know. Otherwise I won't be able to use it in my scenario. I don't really feel like starting it over again. So, it's going back to TR1. So I'm going to do it there. The synth recombine. MySol TR1. And the resources. Oh, you know, I could just leave it pyrite soil trace in on the barrels. Pyrite soil trace. File. say pyrite soil trace. Can I do that? This is the name of the can. Liquid waste. Liquid waste. Liquid waste. The output is liquid waste. But the can says different because it doesn't fit. So if I say in the formula that it's Mars soil trace 1, in the game on the screen it's going to show me the pyrite trace. It will show me the pyrite trace convention name. I'm going to take a chance and do it that way. I think it'll work. Pyrite soil trace. Pyrite soil trace. Alright, let's go back into the game here. Unpack this again. We'll get there. Oh, what the fuck? It just crashed. Or, no, it didn't. It went to my fucking desktop. Fucking Steam. Updating or something. Alright. Add-on packs. Realistic resources. Building blocks. Chemistry and resources. So I'm just going to delete all of this. Delete and resources. Delete. So now we'll go to my 9B update and just double check. Soil trace, blah, 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 blah. Copy. Paste. And chemistry. I'm just going to double, triple, quadruple check. Mars soil TR1, 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 and TR1. And all the numbers look good. And the recombine. Looks good. And I did soil trace 1 and 2. Looks good. It's gotta be good. File, save. There. It's all there. Now we go back and repack it. So now I can go back and hunt the pyrite again. I changed it back. I hope to God I did. And now I will update it and go mention the change in the form and grab me a little snackaroozy. Ooh, pretty bird. Pretty bird. Ooh, yeah, he's a pretty bird, ain't he? Oh, hello. He's a pretty bird. Yes, he is. Alright, that's been updated. So the Marsville TR1, what about the names? I haven't used the large factory yet in a game save, so there's no going back regarding that, so it should be there. It should be there. Let's go to the editor. Hello. How you doing? Hello. Now, this is a game save, but it's not a game save type of thing. I don't think I did see refinery test right there. Now, I wonder, I'm not actually listening to the game, but let's see what we got here. Oh God. Oh yeah, nothing's on here. Okay. Let's do a new one. How do I do a new one? That's a little scary. Oh. Not quite what I wanted. So what I'm looking for now is pyrite soil trace. There it is right there, Pi Soil TR. Now I want is that what I'm putting in there, I wonder? Alright, soil trace. That's Mars Soil TR1. Now what I want to do this is already saved, so it won't show up in here. I don't no. Guess we're gonna find out soon enough. I'm not listening to the game per se. I hope my shit shows up, because if it doesn't, I'll be in a world of shit. Oh my god. I've lost everything. Oh, you know what? I didn't lose everything. I didn't enable the mod. Oh my effing god, it is enabled. Oh fuck, what's wrong with it now? Oh my god, everything's not showing up. Oh my god, I got a major issue. What if I download... What the hell? My resource list is not there. My chemistry's not there. I didn't copy the chemistry? Alright, I'm gonna delete this. I don't know what happened. I mean, that would explain it. Let me go double check it again. the soil trace 2 output. Soil trace 2 takes out iron and potassium oxide. Iron and potassium oxide. If not mined, see, if it's not mined in a pyrite area, what do I do with the soil trace 2? Martian soil waste. Soil waste. I gotta do something with this frickin' soil trace too. I don't know what to do with it. Oh, it has an option. Splits milestones remaining compounds for battery parts. In non-pyrite areas. Soil trace 2. I could do it in pyrite areas too. Split Martian soil. Non-pyrite and pyrite areas non-pyrite and pyrite areas into remaining compounds for battery parts. That covers the soil trace too for both areas. And the other one splits Martian soil into remaining compounds for battery parts. Pyrite grid plus outer 3x3 grids only. File, save. Now I want to copy this file back into my B. Now let's try that again. I don't know why the chemistry wasn't there. Meow, 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 meow. You gonna take a bath? You gonna take a bath, bird? Don't you take a bath? I'll put you to bed. Don't you do it? I got my eye on you. I got my eye on you. Oh, well. That's kind of strange. Maybe I forgot to copy the files over. I just copied the resource file instead of the other ones. Let's see if we can load this bad boy up. I was thinking it didn't seem right because I understand if you load a game save and the stuff doesn't show up because you've got to use a new machine. But I didn't understand right from the editor because these are not your typical game save, but I could be wrong. Let's load up the first one because that's the one we had the issue with. Let's just check this first. Alright, so all of our stuff is there. Uh-oh. That's not right. MA soil trace 1. That isn't right. That's supposed to be pyrite. Fuck. Well, hopefully that should be an easy fix. Okay, this one says pyrite soil trace 1. Now let's check this list. I think where the hell is it now? Okay, it's showing up here. Pi soil TR right there. So in that first one, that's a game save, and if you go change something in I don't know what that's going to do to my game. Those processes might not show up in my game now. If they don't show up, well, what the hell are you going to do? We'll find out soon enough because I'm going to be building that. Ooh, I'm going to be building that big refinery, like, very shortly. Let's put it together. Well, that's a good note. Everything's showing up there. Uh-oh. I think those last three are missing. Okay, that gives me pyrite soil trace there. Wait, this was one I just saved, wasn't it? Oh. Wait a minute. They're here. They are in the list. It goes 5, 6, 7, 7A, and 7B. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC. Yeah, it's all there. The new stuff is there. Alright, see here I've got a choice. Martian soil, non-pyrite and pyrite areas. I can use that in either of them. Limit mining. With this soil trace, I need to mention it in both, I think. I gotta go back and do it again. Or wherever that soil, the soil trace elements is. Split Martian soil, non-pyrite and pyrite areas. Copy. Paste non-pyrite and pyrite areas into trace elements for body parts. Limit mining. Paste non-pyrite and pyrite areas into trace elements for battery parts. Limit mining. Non-pyrite and pyrite areas. Soil trace 2. Now, soil trace 2, there's another one. Splits Martian soil into remaining compounds for battery parts. Pyrite grid plus outer 3. Remaining compounds for battery parts. Fuck. Remaining compounds for battery. Splits Martian soil pyrite grid plus outer 3 by grids only. And then the other one, that's all soil waste. Pyrite area into only trace elements. Pyrite grids, I don't know. I should say pyrite 3 by and outer 3 by grids. Copy. Paste. Trace elements. Paste. Trace elements. Limit collection to outer 5 by 5 grids. plus 8 grids. 3, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Let's go back in the game. I think I got it fixed now. Alright, so now I go in. Excuse me. And copy this. And double check it. I got some rock stuff in here. Non-pirate and pirate areas. Okay. Good. That can be used anywhere. Alright, I'm happy with it. The heck with it. I don't want to keep freaking with this all day long. Let's pack it. Pack it, stack it, and rack 'em! What? Uh-oh! He's getting ready to take a bath, and when he does, he spills water everywhere. Uh-oh. He knows I'm watching his ass. He's sticking his nose into the water. He's getting close. He's getting close to taking it. He wants to take a bath. I'm watching him, making him a little nervous. Uh-oh! Oh, there he goes! Yep, I knew it! Yep. Yep, I don't think so. You're gonna spill water all over my computer shit. You fucker. Alright, we should be good now. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to update this. Well, I shouldn't just yet. Let me go back to the editor. I don't know if I can load that number 2 and have it work. If it does, I'll update it. Here we go again. get it sorted out here pretty quick. When he walks on it, he trips and runs 90 miles an hour. I hope the TQM gods are with me. One, two, three, four. Okay, all the processes are there. Any process that doesn't say pyrite, you can use it. But now I've got this section here, which can be used anywhere, but I've got the BT soil trace too. That can be used there, in any location. But if I want to use it here, okay, it has to be collected there. So that means these guys have to be collected in the pyrite grids in order for that one to be used. That's the whole point. Let's put this baby in there and see if we can get something. Now the processes should show up here, hopefully. Now we got that one. Pyrite soil trace to pyrite soil trace, excellent. That one's got boron. They all have boron because it's that's important for glass. It's used a lot, so that's everywhere. It's just that some of the other stuff is not. But all of this pyrite soil trace can only be done in the pyrite areas. It says that down in the bottom, I think. And see, that one's only pyrite area only because it's got scheelite. That's a byproduct of pyrite or something, I think. What the hell is scheelite? Pyrite grids only. Pyrite grids. Let's do this scheelite one. And then while that's working, I want to find out, I guess, splitting scheelite. Oh, that's got the tungsten in it. I think tungsten, I wonder if that's in the battery parts. God, stop it. Freaking moving. That is so fucking annoying. I'm sorry. Where the hell is the tungsten? Tungsten is supposed to be used for lighting. Oh, I'm not gonna go through and change that. I got all my argon as in lighting. I don't know why that tungsten's there. Wait a minute, is there something else that comes out of that? Well, for oxygen? I don't know what the tungsten's gonna be. Tungsten is just for heating elements. Well, it looks to me like it's working. That's really all I need to know, I think. Don't get a lot of scheelite out of the deal. Alright, I'm gonna update this. I think it's done. Oh, what about that ceramic? Damn it, I wanted to do that ceramic because I could look at that, I suppose. I don't know if those products are located on Mars, though. The kaolinite and methanol. We get methanol. There's a unit of methanol that comes out of one of the processes. Not a lot of it. Alum silicate, chlorine, silicon, boron oxide. Ooh. Can I synthesize boron chloride? Actually, I think I do. I must. Nothing. Synthesized boron oxide. Boron, oxygen. Okay, I'm making the boron oxide. Oh, that's an output. Boron chloride. The only thing that's missing is the alum silicate. Alum silicate. Silicon tet can be created. Hydrochloric acid. Hydrocl acid. Is that in there? I don't remember putting that in there. Yep, there it is right there. Hydrochloric acid. Boron chloride, boron oxide. What about silicon tet? Is that in there? It's gotta be. Scheelite tungsten. Silicon tet. Input silicon tetrachloride. I think that comes out of the I get aluminum silicate out of kaolinite, but that's not going to be on Mars. The iolite. There's a laser argument. Aluminum oxide and potassium. I don't have to split iolite. I don't have to use a laser. All I gotta do is make the ceramic. Output ceramic. Allen alloy. This output ceramic. New alum iron. Carbon fiber ceramic. Alum silicate. Gets with iron. So the only thing I need to make ceramic What the hell is a ceramic? It's a ceramic. Telling me. I wonder if I split hydrochloric acid. Yep, I got hydrochloric acid split. That's done. All I'm looking for is alum silicate. If I can make the alum silicate, I can't split it directly. It comes from kaolinite. If I move the split Europa kaolinite, it says I have to use that laser to do it with. If I make that a normal process, but kaolinite. I wonder if there's kaolinite on Mars. And if that's the case, can I make the laser arg? To make the laser, requires the same stuff. And to make the laser, I add the laser and the argon, and I've got argon laser. So all I need is alum silicate. That's all I need. That's the only process I need. And so all I gotta do is see if there's kaolinite on Mars. Most minerals in a nutshell. Most Mars minerals in a nutshell. The largest outcrop of material bearing kaolinite-like signatures. Shock metamorphism of clay minerals on Mars. Investigation of aluminum-rich clays on Mars. Detection of kaolinite at Marth Vallis, Mars. It's even got eyelight. They're talking about rocks near the Nili Fosse region. Iron, magnesium. It's called phyllosilicates associated with fluvial lacustrine deposits. Nili Fosse, Sartus majorum planum, pyroxene, olivine, Isidis Basin. I don't know where that is. Famous daytime infrared mosaic study of Isidis. They're talking about uplifts. This area is located near the Valley Marineris, a small section of it. Oh, there's like an uplift there. Like on top of the mountain. Oh, some content red and light coverage of CTX. So they're talking about it as being a clay structure. And kaolinite index, more specific to that, picks up both. Figures 3A and 3B. It doesn't really say if that stuff was on Gale Crater. Silicon oxide. Outcrops. We thus favor the hypothesis that silicon hydroxide material is a coating or duracrust on the bedrock and not leftover material from layered deposits. Bedrock, so that would be soil material. Subsurface. Meteor hits could have affected the stuff. Central peak, uplifted rim. Post-impact segments. All hydrated minerals and impact craters. Crater central peaks with clays. Crater central peak with clays. That would be, the clay is the kaolinite. Crater central peaks. Craters are necessarily uplifted, exposed by the impact, and clay minerals could be formed by impacts themselves. Chrism spectra show evidence for shocked kaolinite on Mars. Blue-green colors correspond to kaolinite-bearing surfaces. That's on the outlying structure of large craters. The unshocked kaolinite crystals are relatively coarsely crystalline. So, if we look at, I'm gonna, okay. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna cut this. And I'm going to add it to the normal base. Now it says I've got to use laser arg in order to do that with. Argon laser. But in order to make that, make the laser argon, I have to have a laser. In order to have the laser, I've got to have alum silicate. So I can't even get the alum silicate unless I have an argon laser to begin with. Laser. Alum silicate. I'd have to provide some, I think, as a resource. Like 60 units of it. That's all I gotta do. And the alum silicate will give me the lasers. And they will have to figure out not to use the alum silicate. You want to get the laser first because that's how you split the kaolinite. You don't want to split the kaolinite. Well, you can't even split it anyway without the laser, without the argon laser. So I go back to my scenarios and provide alum silicate, 60 units of it. I just updated that mod, didn't I? No one's gonna grab it now because my list is not updated anyway. Alright, so if I look at Europa, the kaolinite's gone. If I look at split, the kaolinite is added. So alum silicate is the only resource that has to be added for the end game. And it's now in there. I can celebrate. Oh, the bird is being quiet. He's not taking a bath. He didn't take a bath after I shut his ass up. Oh, I got that done too. Good. Now all I gotta do is just update the two scenarios. I'm gonna do an intermission. And I'll play some music here. Wait a second. That's just my, that was my data from researching the clay. Because I covered up the thing here. So while that's doing the intermission, let me update my add-on first. And then we'll update the scenario. I gotta do that with the mod. And that will not take long at all. All I gotta do is just swap out a container. Bada bing, bada bing, bada boom. And it's all done, just like that. Bow, baby. Editor, Gale Creator, enter. So I did good. I spent a crap load of hours, you know. Now I'm gonna load Mars Destiny 1. And we'll get rid of this stuff so I can see what the hell I'm doing here. I got my resources up. That one's dewater, oxygen. Oh, I added carbon fiber and carbon. Let me see. The other one, magnesium oxide, hydrogen, oxygen, and dewater. So I can change the dewater out. In fact, I should change that magnesium oxide to manganese oxide. There's the alum silicate in all its glory. Because manganese used to treat sulfur, but I wonder what else I could throw in there. You get carbon dioxide. Alum oxide. What the hell is alum oxide? What's at the bottom of that list? There's no alum oxide. I don't know, something's frigged up now. Well, I'm gonna change that to manganese. Where the hell is it? Or could I change it to chlorine? Chlorine's a gas. Damn it, I can't even find it now. There's manganese dioxide. And I'm going to change the D water to alum silicate. I might as well just leave it full. It's saved. It's done. Now, let me just resave it. I got the... I've got to update it. What the hell's that alum oxide doing? Alum oxide? Why the fuck is that in the list? Mars Destiny 1 update on Steam. Alum oxide. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Aluminum oxide. I don't know why that's on that list. I had to go to my Steam. Let me go to here. Workshop items. Description. Updated April 21. April 21. 19. Okay, the mod has been updated. Now I've got to update the scenario. What? That's been updated. I guess that's it. Wow, I got 600 hours in this game already. Oh, let me think. I can't think. Alright, that's been taken care of. That's been updated. I guess that's it, really. I'm just looking at my discussions. Alright. Alright, that's been put in there. That's been updated. Everything's been done. I'm wondering, I think I'll do a little break and then restart the stream here.